So this video really talks about the structure of how to do a two-dimensional array. Now these can get really complicated really quickly if you don't understand the basics. So I think this video will help slow things down a little bit and let you see how they look. So I want you to imagine here, I've got my students. So this is what a single dimensional array looks like. Remember, we have our index of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you remember that, we had that in our previous lessons. Now, imagine you have student 1. So student 1 equals, and I'm just going to copy and paste this from here, because here's one I made earlier in true Blue Peter style. And if I went to print that out, I could see that student 1 would appear on the list. So let's just go for that. So you can see I've got the student and I've got all the information that went in there. Now, where it gets more complicated is that sometimes you want to have everybody together. And imagine you've read in a file and you've got all of that key information in one area, and you don't want student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4. You've just read it in through one massive long text file and you want to work through it. Well, each item has a specific position. So whereas at the moment, if I wanted to just print out Ray, for example, all I need to do is go student 1 and I can pick the position. All right. Now, if I was to run that, you can see here that it just picks out that name. All right. Now, when it gets more complicated, what you will find is I'm just going to put these all side by side. So if you're writing a structure, just to kind of get to grips, it might be good to write it out the way that I've done it to begin with as a plan, just to help you out. So I'm now going to put my other data in, all right? And this time it's going to be called students. Now watch. So I'm going to put the information of student 2 in there. You notice that I've got the data, but what you need to do is separate these with a comma. All right, so I've got my square brackets, which is that row, then the next row. So each row is separated by a comma. And one more row, comma. And there we go. So I've got basically, essentially, 3 rows. So if I did that, you can see each of these is separated. Now, you need a set of square brackets to encapsulate the whole lot. So what we're going to do this time is do square brackets around the whole lot. So then I'm going to print out students. Now you will notice a difference this time. So watch when I run this. This whole item has its own initial position, and that is the row. If I wanted then Jennifer to appear, that would be 1. The basic concept is that you have an array within an array, and that is how it looks. So if I wanted to print Kelly, I could go to number 2. And if I wanted Emma, I could pick out 3. So you can see the difference that each one has that shows the full set. Now, where things get a bit more difficult is you may want to look at specific information inside each of those, all right? So what you would have is you'd need, so if I wanted to look up Emma, I would say which row and then the column. So what I'm going to do this time is I've got a second bracket, square bracket. So if I needed to look up Emma's name only, I could put in students 3, 0, because that is row 1. And you can count your row by your square brackets. Row 2, row 3, row 4. But again, our index starts at 0, so we've got 3 and 0. Let's see if that works. And there you have it. Now, if I wanted to just print all of their names individually, so we're going to work our way through this. 0, 1, 2, 3. Watch what happens now. I'm going to run that, and that has only picked, so I've got the row, okay, then the column, row, column. Remember that because that's important when you start learning loops and you start going through each of the items in the list. Now I'm going to do a video on loops, and then I will show you a video on how to go through any items in a list as well. But right now I've got my students, I've got the row, then the column, and that should help break that down. Now, the good thing is I can start to replace different things. So you will remember that you can remove things and change it. But what I might say is maybe Emma's not studying music anymore. So what I could do is I could say students, all right, and you can pick the row. So Emma is row 0, 1, 2, 3, and she is currently studying music. So that is 0, 1 equals, and I'm going to enroll her in food and nutrition. Now, this time when I print students, and we're going to go for row 3, what you should notice, and I'm going to run this, she now studies food and nutrition. So you can actually specifically target key pieces of information using what I like to call coordinates, but it is the index, it is the position in your array, but it works similar to coordinates. Just remember you start at 0. Once you understand that, you can understand the basics of how a multi-dimensional array works. So a bit of advice, start writing out how you want it to look, because then when you're setting it up, you can visualize each row by the square brackets. I hope that's useful. Again, if you want to remove people, I could also go at this point, we're going to go Dell, and we're going to go students, and I'm going to get rid of Kelly. So that's 0, 1, 2. Let's print out the whole list now. Print students, and let's see if that works. So you can see that Kelly's row has been removed because I used that specific index. I hope that's been useful. That is a brief introduction to doing multidimensional arrays without the loop. There will be loops later on.